Hello everyone, welcome to Track Metrics, the place where we talk about Zoho for learners and for business owners. I'm excited to welcome you all for the second episode of the podcast with the title Myths Breaking and Eye Opening on Zoho Creator. So, with us, we have Deepa Govind, a Zoho's icon, a developer since 2008. So, we will unlock the questions. This is our second episode on this topic. If you have not checked our first episode, do check in our YouTube channel in podcast playlist. Let's go straight into the session. The next question is so you have given a different perspective. So usually in India, so many of the students in the schools they used to speak only the regional languages, even though they have a subject English in their curriculum. They prefer to speak in their regional languages, and they will struggle a lot speaking out in English. And it is across the India, we could see not in the majorly from the top tier one cities, but rest of the cities and villages, we have this as a major issue. So is English speaking mandatory for becoming an Zoho Creator developer?
Yeah. So knowing English language helps because a lot of our automations can be built or written in code using simple logical sentences. Take for example, let's have a manager who says that whenever an order is placed, I want an alert going to my warehouse supervisor about the order, so that when my delivery guys goes there, he keeps the order ready, packed and ready. Now, he has given a simple sentence which has everything that is required to write a code. You create a workflow, the workflow is on form submission, the workflow sends an email, the email is delivered to the warehouse manager, the content of the email is about the whatever order that gets placed during the form submit, and thereby the warehouse manager is now ready and prepared for the delivery agent to pick up the material. Now, how this would translate if we do not use English is something that we will have to do to understand the complexities. But I would say it is very simple English. A base level of a fifth standard, sixth standard English is all that is required for you to sail through. There is no Shakespearean English that is required. So try to be communicative. That will help you with your development. It is not mandatory, but it will help. It is like saying, are you drawing a picture? Coloring is not mandatory. Pencil is fine. But if you color, it will look nicer.
Oh, such a awesome example. Yeah, I think the next question, I know a major portion of the answer, but I would like to hear from you for our audience. Share your experience with Zoho Creator in the beginning and now.
So during my early days of development on Zoho Creator, I was a beginner myself. I was a learner myself. So I had my own challenges. The successful customer application that I built in 2008 was one iCal integration using Zoho Creator for a facility management. So it took me 2 weeks to do that too, especially when I was very doubtful about myself, because I had the same doubts as everybody else. I'm not a techie. I am just looking at some tutorial documents, PDFs, reading and trying to manipulate the code based on my requirement. So does it work? Will it work? Will it help the customer in whatever difficulty or the gap he is facing? I had all these doubts myself. But when this application was done and when the customer confirmed that whatever I had put in place has worked for him and his team, that made me immensely happy. Now, at that time, we didn't have OCR, we didn't have AI, we didn't have ZIA. So the highest level of automation that we had at that time was a lookup, and the lookup would it functions like a VLOOKUP in MS Excel. It just go to that particular field, it retrieves that particular value and gives back to you to manipulate however you want with the data. Now, coming today, our Zoho Creator apps have evolved to a very huge scale. There are lot many more fields. There are lot many more integrations. We used to do CRM integration via code. Now we have built-in integrations for CRM, books, and even third-party integrations available. So uh, the work of the developer has the creator has become more developer friendly in the current times, and um, a good understanding of business process and a good understanding of how Zoho Creator development can happen will help the developer set up solutions that are wholesome in nature, holistic in nature, providing great value to the customers.
Great to hear. I think whatever the changes is for beneficial for the developers and for the users.
Yes,
So whatever changes,
it
we
is.
shouldn't be afraid of it. We should be accepting that so that we will move ahead with the
Correct.
whole
We have to
world.
move ahead with time. So it is one thing to know how a tool works. See, you can know how a pen works. You can talk for hours together how a pen works, what is the physics behind having a round barrel, how does the ink flow, how does the ballpoint pen's ink work, how does the ballpoint works. You can know all about it. It is one thing to know how a tool works, but it is an entirely different ball game to know how to work with the tool. So if you don't know how to write with a pen, what is the use of knowing all that knowledge about how the pen works? So it is one thing to know how a tool works, it is another thing to know how to work with the tool. So Zoho Creator is a tool. Get to know how it works. That knowledge is necessary. There is no second opinion about it. Know how Zoho Creator works, and then visualize, formalize, and build solution that works with the Zoho Creator.
Great. I think if you it was in a Tamil, you would have a separate, a huge list of poems. I think the examples that you are giving for the questions is remarkable. Yeah. So, summarizing the answer, we need to know for writing an essay, we need to know how pen works, but that's not mandatory. We need to know how we need to write an essay. So, for developing an application, we need to know the tools, but not how the tool works completely. So, we need to know a bit of it, but not the complete portion of it. I think Creator is taking those headaches and leaving the developer just with the application, just by translating uh, the business knowledge into business applications. Great.
Yes.
The next question is, I think this question will be in many of the newcomer minds. Like starting from, so we can start with the creator, but the trial and error method will take a huge time to learn something. So, what do over the several years of experience, what do you suggest a best learning path to become a creator developer from a 0 point to an efficient developer who can handle projects on his or her own learning path?
Hmm. See, we reach our destination only when we start. So start learning. Start learning. Little, small, minuscule. Start learning. Get a login. Start learning. Start building forms. So the creator itself teaches you how to work with creator. You have on-screen guide, you have on-screen instructions. Use them and get to know that part. Finish that module, finish that process of learning. Once you are comfortable with on-screen guide that tells you how to do this, how to do that, try to work out other models of learning which you will find in the resources section of Zoho Creator. Our creator training team has uploaded multiple playlists in YouTube that walks you through different levels of learning, different field wise you learn how each field can be used in different scenarios. Workflow based learning, how to work with blueprints, what are blueprints, how creator how we can use blueprint in creator, learn the concept behind blueprint, and also the multiple use cases in which blueprints can be used, custom functions, buttons. So just start. Your screen will tell you what you can learn. Your screen will also tell you what you don't know, and therefore you know what you should learn next.
This is an kind of unexpected answer, but thinking out loud, this should be true. This is true. So we have everything on screen. Whatever we need to do, it will prompt. Say if we drag and drop something, if condition, it will give us what to give. It will give a blank spaces. Here we need to add an operator. Here we need to add a condition, and then the expression. I think this would be the best answer. And whatever we need to do, we just need to start, and rest creator will take care of it. And
Yeah, just be consistent. Don't stop your learning. They give time. Time is the greatest commodity that you can, currency that you can give towards your own learning. Give yourself 5 days of 5 hours a day, 5 days a week, and a target of 3 months is what I see, where you can completely gain an understanding of Creator. I will add a disclaimer: learning never stops, even after 3 months, even after 13 years. We are all still learning.
because Zoho Creator is keep on upgrading its features, so we need to running towards the Zoho Creator to keep it updated.
So, which
Great.
platform gives you so much of upskilling opportunities? Every time you'll have to go outside the box to think, what can I upskill next? What can I upskill next? So, with once inside the Zoho ecosystem, you have scope of upskilling. Like you can choose from 55 to upskill. Beat that.
Great. I think we shouldn't be afraid of upskilling, and we should be adopting the upskilling. And Zoho
Correct.
Creator will give you that as a one option to select.
And being a learner, since you are going to be learning Zoho Creator, that the aptitude to learn will only increase as you try to upskill to other Zoho products as well. So learning comes easy. Learning becomes a habit.
Great. I think if we want to take this as a positive note, I think it is a positive note. Zoho Creator will not leave you stagnant. It will push you towards upskilling.
Very true.
Very. Yeah. Does Zoho Creator suit for a full-time career?
Yes, Zoho Creator does suit for a full-time career, either if you're on own or you're on payroll to companies. I say that with conviction because I am a full-time Zoho Creator developer. I started off as a consultant. I continue to be a consultant. So I work on Zoho Creator application development. So here my upskilling is Zoho Creator training. My upskilling is integration with other Zoho products. So these are the levels of upskilling that happen over time. Now I freelance full time. So if I can put it that way, I freelance full time. Now I have also known other working professionals, other creator developers who started out as learners, who evolved into professionals, who further evolved into getting absorbed by Zoho partner companies, where they are on full-time job as Zoho creator developers, and they're continuously upskilling themselves, being a Zoho creator developer, as part of their business learning understanding, probably as a HR expert, probably as a creator developer who's also a sales expert, a creator developer who's also a data analyst. So yes, there is a complete scope of full-time employability as a Zoho creator developer. Zoho partner companies are in constant lookout of skilled Zoho resources. So having knowledge of Zoho creator gives you the advantage of the application building, plus the language used in Zoho creator, which is Deluge script, proprietary to Zoho Corporation itself, and all of the 55 products of Zoho also use Deluge script in their development. So when you branch out to other applications of Zoho and the need comes to set up workflows and automation in Zoho People or Zoho CRM or Zoho Desk, where you are expected to write some pieces of code, the language is still the Deluge script code. So it is not a new learning. It is just a gradual progression from one phase to another. So yes, there are a lot of opportunities available as Zoho Creator developer, and it is an effective full-time career as well, and it is effective for a work from home professional as
This
well.
is great to hear. I think there's a huge set of audience wanted to hear that last phrase of that answer. So building out the next question from there. Um, so talking about the major audience, school, college students, so they have to learn something in order to acquire a full-time career. But there are an audience group where they wanted to shift from their existing career, existing job. Maybe they are into some job that doesn't pay well, that doesn't up to their skill sets. They wanted to skill up or move to Zoho Creator. So if we take that audience as a major thing, they faces this issue. Can I start something part time or hourly basis? So they cannot afford full time shifting because they have to meet their bread and butter. Uh, Side by side, they have to learn Creator and try out Creator whether it suits for them. Once they build the confidence, and they can move to Zoho Creator as a full time. So, what would be your comments over it? I would like to shed light on this question.
Yeah, for those of you who are not in a position to devote to a full-time career, Zoho Creator does provide you with that facility like any other freelancing career. So, as I said earlier, the website called as Upwork is a freelancing website. Please go and explore the website. There are a lot of projects that are posted for Zoho Creator development. So, as a freelance developer, you have the ability to pick and choose which kind of projects you want to pick up, looking based on their requirement. That will allow you to spend only that limited amount of time that you have designated yourself to work on. So it's more of a personal choice, and not essentially creator related. It could be anything. We have a lot of freelance writers, we have freelance photographers, freelance videographers, freelance artists. So it is something that you take a decision, make a conscious decision, and not essentially a tool based decision.
I think this is a great answer. Actually, I just want to highlight some of my experience in this, because as I was working in a construction, I didn't get time, and I also have a fear that if I want to move to something, what will happen to my bread and butter? So what will happen to my next month expenses? So, but what I started is I used to work in construction since morning 9 to evening 8 or 9. Suppose that after 9 to 12, I used to learn and work with the clients in the freelance mode. Actually, at that point, in the initial stages, I don't work for money. Till now, I didn't work for money. I worked for clients who I just wanted to add value. So I started as a freelancing to work with clients. I think it's from US. So they had a issue in the Zoho Creator application and then Zoho Analytics. So they have that requirement. They were very calm and kind. I think that was one of the main reason I could pick the Zoho Creator as a full time, because they give the confidence. Uh, I can do something. As you mentioned in the earlier, if you are doing something, you will reward yourself with something. So I was doing some automation for them, and they have rewarded with the pleasant words, not with, I don't want to mention that amount, but the pleasant words which give the motivation to more learn and more add value to the clients. That's how the spark started within me to learn more and to add value to the clients. I think
Great.
that one will keep that one thing had been the main portion of my journey throughout this learning of Zoho Creator and the entire Zoho
So
application.
wonderful. So wonderful to hear. So wonderful to know. I've been knowing this all along, but I'm so happy that you could share it again with me today.
With that answer, we have came to the end of this podcast episode. Thank you for joining Traction Talks with Pragmatic Solutions. We hope today's episode helped break down the myths and opened your eyes to the incredible possibilities of Zoho Creator. Whether you are a student or a budding developer, remember that learning never stops. The future is yours to create. Keep exploring, keep experimenting, and do not be afraid to think outside the box. If you are ready to dive deeper into Zoho Creator or have any questions, we are here to support you on your learning journey. Until next time, stay curious and stay building.